What's up guys, Bua Davis here. Today I'm gonna teach you how you can make 3D animated door in Unity. We will cover animation, designing and scripting, and as usual I will make everything as simple as possible. If you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this one and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started because we have lots of work to do. And first thing first, I have the simple scene. Only thing that I have right now is my player. This is first person player, and he can move, and that's it basically. And let's start with designing door for us. I will just use the 3D objects, but you can use any other assets, fancier ones, if you want. This will be, and I will create cubes for my walls. So to create cubes, you can click on the right mouse button on the empty space of the hierarchy panel, 3D object, cube, and let's name it wall. This will be our wall, and let's make our wall little bit bigger, scale it little bit up. Let's see how it look like. Okay, maybe a little more. All right, I think it will be fine. If not, we can always change it later. And we can duplicate this wall. Actually, I will make it a little bit larger, like this. We can select this wall and click on the Control and D or Command and D if you are on Mac, and it will duplicate our wall. This will be for our second wall, and the middle one will be for our door. Let's click F to zoom in, and let's position it a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, it will work. And let's select this middle one and rename it to be door model. And this will be our door model itself. And we can give some colors to it. To give your game object color, you need to create some material. And to do it, you should go on the assets panel, click with the right mouse button, create material, and you can name it something like door. I already have material for my door. As you see, you can then go and check this albedo and give any color you want, and then attach, drag and drop basically into your game object, in our case into our door, and our door is starting to look like door. Well, not quite, but we will work on it. Next step that we're gonna do, we will create empty game object for our door, and we will handle our scripts there. And to create empty game object, you should click on the right mouse button on the hierarchy panel, create empty, and let's call it door. And we should position it where we want our door to rotate on that angle. Well, at least we can try. I will position it around here. I hope you see. And from here, our door will be rotated. And I will show you very soon. For example, if we drag our door model into our door game object, and if we select our door, and if we change rotation on the Y, you see our door is rotating. It opens and closes. That's exactly what we will do by animation, and we will control it from the script. So let's select this door and change rotation on the Y to be 0 in order everything not to miss anything. And well, we should create few more things for our door. First of all, we need to add some kind of collider because we will need it. And we can do it by selecting the door, and in the inspector you will see this add component button. You can click on the add component, type here on the search bar box collider. It will add box collider, which is positioned terrible right now, but we will fix it very soon. First, I want to have some kind of door handles, and I'll use spheres for it. And let's create 3D object sphere. Where is sphere? Here it is. Okay, let's see. This sphere is huge for our door, obviously, and we'll make scaling to be 0.3 on all of axis. And now it looks fine. Let's click F to zoom in, and let's see. I think this will be fine, and we should create one more for other side as well. So let's duplicate this sphere, Control D, and let's drag second one around here. Yeah, I think it will look fine. And now we can select both of our spheres and drag both of them into our door game object as well. Now we can select this door and work on this collider, box collider that we just created. And this box collider should be around our door handle because it will act like our indicator, like our sensor to open door and act like trigger basically. And let's drag it center of it on the X. Let's put it here. And let's make it a little bit up. And thing is that we should have this collider on the both sides. And I think it's small to fit both sides. So what I will do, I will make the size on the Z a little bit bigger. And now it's pretty large. Okay, let's make it smaller. And let's drag our... Well, anyway, it's not perfect, but it will work. In theory, you can create this box collider in the size of the door, in the wall size of the door. And that way, when you look at your door in any point, your door will open when you trigger specific event, obviously. But I want my player to be able to open the door only when he looks on this door handle, because it makes more sense, basically. Anyway, our door model is ready. It's not prettiest door, but it will do its job. And let's go and work on animations. First of all, we need to have animator window. So on the window, we go animation and animation. This window will pop up. So let's drag it here. Then we will select this door and we can click on this create. It will create and ask where we want to save our animation, and also we should give some name to animation. I will name first one open with a capital O, and I will save it. And then we can click on this red button and our recording will start. So let's click on this. Let's go on the rotation on the Y. Let's make it 1 and back to 0, and it will save first frame. After 60 frames, we will change this Y to be 90, and we can stop recording, and this is how it looks like. This is our animation. All right, and then we can take this last one and basically copy it by Control C, and then we can click on this open and create new clip. I will call it closed with a capital C, and save. And basically I will click on the Control and V here, and it will paste last part of previous animation right here. Then I will click on this record button again, and after 60 frames I will make Y on the 0, and I will stop recording, and this is how it looks like. It is door closed animation. By the way, names that I'm giving, you should do same, because in my script I will use those ones, and if you are using any other name, even if you're not starting with a capital C and capital O, your script, you might be confused why your script is not working, and that might be a reason, which is very hard to find later. So just in case, try to name everything like I am doing right now. Anyway, we have door open and door closed animations, and we need one more for the idle one. So create new clip. Let's call it idle. And for the idle, we just need to click on the record. Let's change it to 1 and back to 0 to save first point. And after 60 frames, we will do same. We will change it to 1 and back to 0. Then we will stop recording, and if we start playing, nothing is happening because that's exactly what we want. It is for idle animation. And these animations created few things, as you see right here. Those ones are just animated clips, and this is animator controller. Now let's select this closed one, and untick loop time, and we should do same for the open one, untick loop time, because we'll control everything from the script. And now let's have a look on our animator controller right here. Let's select window, animator, and animator. And this is our animator. As you see, we have open, closed, and idle. Let's make idle right here. I want this idle to be my default one, so let's click on the idle with the right mouse button, set as layer default state, and from this idle we can transition to open. From this open we can transition to let's delete it, make transition to closed, and let's right click on the closed, make transition to open. Now if you are seeing this animator window and animator controller first time, I know it's super confusing, but basically we have different states, open, closed, and idle, and we can with those lines we can control when those animations will happen, and those are some just translations between them, and we can control them by conditions, which will be controlled by script itself. And to control these transitions, we have these parameters things. So if we select these parameters, you will see this plus sign. You can add few things right here. We only need booleans today. So let's select bool, and let's name it open with a lowercase o, this case, and we will create one more boolean, and let's name it closed with a lowercase as well. And now if we select these transitions, first of all, we don't need exit time right here, and you will see these conditions. We can click on the plus sign, and yeah, open should be true in order to go from the idle to open. Then select this transition from the closed to open, and let's untick as exit time. Let's scroll the settings and untick fixed duration because we don't need them, and click on this plus sign, and open should be true. And when we click on the transition from the open to closed, let's untick has exit time and fixed duration, and also closed should be false. That's it. We are set with the animators. Now, next thing is to create some kind of reach point, invisible sensor, we can say, that we handle collider and triggering event to open this door. We can do it by raycasting, but I don't want to overcomplicate everything because this topic is, it might be complicated enough because we are covering animations, designing and scripting in one video. So what I will do in our camera, I will create, well, I don't know what controller you're using, but you should do the same process where you handle your player camera, because you might use FPS controller camera or main camera or some other game object. For example, I'm using this viewpoint, but I will do everything in main camera first of all. But you just need to do it inside your main camera, which controls your player and how your viewpoint look like. Anyway, in your camera, you just need to create 3D object cube, and let's drag game view to see how it looks like. I will drag it here. This is our cube. I will scale it down. This will be our invisible sensor, which will trigger everything. Let's make it bigger. You can make it as bigger as you like, basically. And I think for my game, this distance will be fine. The longer you make this cube, the sensor, from the far away you can open the door and trigger different events, basically. And let's call this cube to be sensor. And I will take it in my viewpoint because my viewpoint is where I handle my camera. But you should keep it where you handle your camera itself. And also we can take mesh renderer and hide it from our game because we don't need it. We only need collider. And also we should take ease trigger because we will need to trigger some events, as I already said. Okay, we also will add rigid body here in order not to mess anything, and freeze rotation in all of the axes and position as well. And I think we are almost ready to go in the coding part. Only thing that is left to have some kind of input, because I want my player to be able to open this door when he touches specific key in keyboard. So I will go on the edit project settings, where we have our input manager right here. We have axis, and well, in general, this is default how it looks like, and I like to make this number to 20. Click enter, and then I will select this middle cancel one, and I will name it sensory, and positive button I will change to be E. And it means that we have now input that can be used in script, and when we touch this E key, magic will happen. Only thing that is left to create tag for our sensor. And when we check, if we select our sensor and go on the tag system, well, I already created the sensor tag, but you don't have yet, so I will delete it and show you how it's done. So let's select the sensor, add tag, click on the plus sign, let's call it sensor, save, and let's select the sensor and make sure to assign the sensor tag to it. Now we should create C# script and start working on it. And to create C# script, you just need to click on the assets folder's empty space with the right mouse button, create C# script, and call it anything you want. I already prepared the empty script for us to work. I called it door, and just make sure to drag your script into your door game object right here. Let's double check. It's indeed here. Let's double click to open in Visual Studio, and let's start working. First of all, let me a little bit zoom in order you to see it better. And let's start by creating few variables as usual. First of all, we need reference for our rigid, not rigid, but animator. So public animator, and let's call it anim to be shorter, simple. Also, we need public game object for our text. Let's call it open text. And by the way, I think we forgot to create text. You might not want to have some text, but I want to show you how it's done. And basically, when you get close, it will say open and close the door, or anything you want. And let's quickly create it. We can click on this empty space of the hierarchy panel. UI, you can use this Text Mesh Pro, but I will use this legacy text for this video because it's faster. And let's select our text. Let's go on the game view. Where is our text? Our text looks terrible, so I'll make it center. I don't know why it is. Okay, let's select our text anyway. Let's go on the scene view and let's see where it is. Okay, it's here. I want my text to be in the center. So let's zoom in. Let's click on the F, and yeah, it's better right now. I also want my height to be, I don't know, 35, for example, and position to be -20, I think, because we might have, I don't have any crosshair in my project, but you might have it, and I don't want this text to interact with it. So let's change text to be open/close or something like that. We can also change font size. Let's make it 18. Also, if you have any font, you can drag it here. Also, you can play with the font size, font style, and color. I will make it red, and that's it. That's all that we need. Let's make it normal. Okay, then we will hide it from the inspector, untick this, because we will control everything from the script itself. So we have reference for our text as well, and now we can create public boolean bool, and let's call it in zone. This will be when we can trigger some event, trigger our doors animation. And by default, our in zone should be false because we are far away from our door. And then we will use special method on trigger enter. So search for on trigger enter, click on the enter, and Visual Studio will auto compile. And this function will be only called when you trigger some events. For example, we can say here if other.gameObject.tag double equals sensor, because we already created tag sensor, which is assigned to sensor game object right here, sensor. So when something with the tag of sensor touches our door, we should trigger some events. First of all, we will be in zone, so in zone will become true. And also we want our text to be seen, so open text dot set active, and in parentheses we can say true. Don't forget semicolon, and that's it. Also we can do same, but this time when we exit our trigger, so on trigger exit. And I will just copy this because everything is same, so is zone will become false this time, and we don't need this text anymore, so it will become false. Now in the update, here all the magic will happen. And here we can say that if first of all we should be in zone to open the door, so if in zone, and also we should add end sign, which is those two signs. I don't know how they called, sorry, but just type those two, it means end. So if we are in zone and we can get input here, input get button down. We created button exactly for it, and we called it sensory, if you remember. I hope you do. If not, you can watch this video one more time. Anyway, when we are in zone and we are getting input, so when we are pressing E key, we should do something, and else we should do something. So let's create functions for them. Let's call it open door, parenthesis, semicolon, and don't worry about red lines. Close door here. We will create these functions right now here. Void open door, open and close curly brackets, and here we will say void close door. Great, we have open door and closed door. So when we open the door, we should get our animation, so anim.setBool. If you remember, we created booleans in our for our door, these ones open and closed, to control transitions for our door. So here we can say anim setBool. In quotation marks we will say open comma true, because when we open the door we want to play this open animation. And also anim.setBool, in quotation marks we will say closed, and comma it will be false, obviously. And I will just copy this and paste here, but just change this from true to false, and this one from the false to true. And that's it. We can save the script, so Control and S or Command or S if you are on Mac, and we can go back in Unity. Let our script compile, and first of all let's select our door. Where is our door? And let's see, we have animator. Okay, now we need to assign animator here, so we can drag this animator right here. And for the text, we will drag this text, and we can start playing and see if everything is working. Okay, here is our door. Let's click E, and as you see, our door is opening. And we can close by clicking E again, and it's closed. And we can open from this side as well, and we can close it. Yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you understand everything. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. And if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this one, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the notification bell not to miss any new upcoming videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.